How's it going, Forex Traders? Joshua, that's more Samuel. I'm back on YouTube yet again, guys. It has been a very busy. How's it going, Forex Traders? Joshua, that's more Samuel. I'm back on YouTube. I'm back on your screen yet again, guys. It has been a very busy month so far. At least this is like I think this is the end of the second quarter. It has been an eventful year so far. The first half of the year was absolutely amazing. We did wonders. We did magic in the Telegram community and then also in the mentorship channel. Be sure to check that out. The link is in the pinned comment like so. So I'm back on your screen yet again to let you guys know exactly what's happening in the market. This is what I do every single time I come on here to show you guys the absolute best trade setups and also walk you guys through on the trade that we're actually taking so far. So without any further ado, let's get things rolling. And by the way, if you're new to my channel, be sure to click on that subscribe button and then turn on the bell icon as you do so, guys. I'd love to have you here permanently. You feel me? Alright, so now the first pair on our list now is the USD CHF, guys. I have no iota of that whatsoever that this pair is actually going to collapse right through all the way to 0.80422. You guys know what I teach you guys in the mentorship program. You guys have seen my trade call out so far on YouTube, guys. It has been one banger after one banger. Like every single trade I call just absolutely answers to my call. You feel me? So and you two ought to be on this level of mastery, you get me? But to take things off, yeah, we have the USD CHF. I do see a head and shoulders pattern forming like so nicely. So long story short, let me just look at this guy from a grand standpoint. I can clearly can clearly see that overall this pair has been this pair has been on a downward trajectory. We actually came on here some point. I think we actually had some entries from around here earlier on this year. Yeah, I can remember we had some beautiful entries inside of here like so where I called out this trade. I said to you guys I could see like a double top on a daily time frame. Yeah, so let me just show you guys what that look. So on a daily time frame, I saw like a double top and then I saw the neckline break as well. So what I simply did was just come on here and brought the neckline like so. And then when the market pulled back into this base, that was when I actually went short this guy. So now this is where we are at the moment, and the USD CHF is still on its way all the way down to our prime target, which happens to be 0.79000, which is somewhere around here like so. Okay, so we had an impulsive drop here. This was a correction, and then I expect to see a continuation to the downside. And if you look closely, yeah, this also lines up perfectly with the Fibonacci, right all the way from the most recent high all the way to the very bottom here. You can see how the things look. So this is swing high, swing low, pull back into 0.5, and then continuation to the downside, I presume. All right, so all things being equal here, what we are actually waiting for USCHF in the next couple of weeks is actually at this 0.83151, because I do see some form of supply level somewhere around here like so. So again, remember that we had like a downward trend already. So this is like a high, it's a lower high, lower low, lower high. So we ought to have at least an equal low somewhere around here like so at 0.80422. So it's very simple. So what I need to do is come on here like so on 4 hour time frame, mark out this spotlight nicely. So on 4 hour time frame, this is exactly how it looks. Remember we had like this. So this is the thing that I actually explained to you guys here. We usually also have at least 3 pullbacks in a trend. So within a trend, take for instance now that you're actually going short from, you want to see this guy move from here to here, you have to see at least 3 pullbacks, at least 3 wave patterns. Yeah, so now we've seen 2. All right, I actually went short this pair somewhere around, I think, where did I go? I think inside of here like so. I went short this guy. So long story short here, I'm actually waiting to see the USD CHF pullback into ranges of about this like so. So once I see, because this is the first pullback here, he didn't do much. The second pullback tried, gave his best, and then this is gonna be like the top pullback. So the top pullback is actually en route. So I'm waiting to see this guy coming to 0.83151. Once I see a decent pullback like so, which matches perfectly with my Fibonacci tool. I love to use my Fib. You guys know me, I'm Fib man. I don't joke with Fib, guy. You shouldn't be joking with Fibonacci at this point. You get me? So a pullback into 0.83151, we're actually good to go. So allow this guy finish doing whatever thing it is doing right here. Like so, allow it pull back nicely into 0.8300 or 8315. One. So once this is said and done, guys, you short this guy all the way down. Now, whilst you're shorting this guy, was your in a sell trade, yeah, your first take profit has to come to the most recent, guys. I can say this as many times as possible so that you guys can get it into your mind. All right, so let this be a part of your trading system, that whilst you're short any pair, you should always have your first take profit point at the first reversal, that is the recent low or the most recent high. This is exactly how it looks. So if you're short here like so, your TP1 should be here and then your TP2 should be here. That's exactly what I mean. You feel me? So long story short, USCHF bearish. I have no iota of that this guy's gonna collapse nicely. So that's just that for USDC HF. Let me see another pair that I think would actually have a lot of money to pay us this month. Let's talk about the USD card. Let's talk about the USD card real quick. USD card. I think this is the one, hopefully. So USD card on the other hand, oops, it's quite messy. Let's see. USD card. It's 11 hours. Of course it is 11 hours. Keep short. Keep short. No, no, almost done. Just give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Found it. Dollar card. Alright, so this is the dollar card real quick. Let me just show you guys a quick overview on this guy. Okay, so remember guys, we actually went short the dollar card with the mentorship students in the Telegram community. By the way, guys, if you really want to check that out, the link is in the pinned comment, or just send me an email. All right, to enroll. All right, so this is how it looks. Again, guys, the first pullback, thing here. So this is that first pullback here. It didn't do much. I mean, it gave us some people, but not as much as the top pullback is going to give us. So this was the first one here. This is the second one. So the third one has to come into 1.38571. So allow the market pull back properly into 1.38571, or reverses around this level like so. So you have two levels to actually look out for here. Either we see the market reverse at this level, okay, or come into 1.3538571. Paraventure we do get a break above this line like so. We should see this guy rally all the way to 1.38571, depending on what the dollar index is doing at the moment. So once you see that done, then we can actually be rest assured that the market is going to collapse. But let's see how things look on the daily time frame before we can actually call the shot on this guy. So okay, so quite frankly, 1.37331 seems to be the ideal pullback point. Once we see a decent pullback there, we can actually go ahead and short this guy. All we need to see is a nice 4-hour time frame rejection somewhere around here like so. I don't really like to see that many lines on my chart, so I'm just gonna get rid of every single thing here. So like I said, we're just going to be working solely on supply and demand levels. All right, the trend as it stands is starting to point bearish because of what the dollar index is doing at the moment. That one is quite bearish as well. So all these pairs, anything, listen, whatever thing that the dollar does kind of like determines what the rest of the pairs in the market to do. So on the weekly time frame here, let me just show you guys something real quick. On the weekly time frame, we're coming to put a triple top here. So best believe, all things being equal, this exposes card dollar card to this point right here is very possible. And then from this standpoint here, plotting our trend lines like so, you can clearly see that from look of things, we are actually out of this upward trend line. So what we need to see is very simple: a decent pullback into regions of about 1.3. Let me just go back to the daily time frame and then look at how this thing looks. This is where that supply level looks like. Yeah, so this is partly where it is. So a pullback into 1.37753, that is the ideal pullback here. So just go down to the daily time frame. This is exactly how it looks here. So once you see a decent pullback around this level like so, let's see how the market reacts around here, then we'll actually go short. So once you go short, guys, remember your first TP has to be the most recent low, all right, and then subsequently if you see this guy melt all the way to this point as the XY continues to melt. All right, so that's just that for this the dollar card in a nutshell. I'm super bearish on this guy. I have no iota of that whatsoever that this pair has to actually continue to the downside. I have no reasons to doubt whatsoever. And in the event that level doesn't really hold, we can actually see this guy pull back into this other supply level. So we have two levels to actually be watchful for. So either this first one is somewhere around here or this second one here. Either ways, we're actually very bearish on this guy. So and our primary concern is how to short this guy. So the only thing we'll be looking for is selling opportunities on these pairs. All right. So now moving on. Now let's go to the rest of the pairs. So by the way, if you found value in this video so far, and if you found value in this video so far, I urge you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if you found value in this video so far, I urge you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel and then turn on the bell icon as you do so. So on the euro dollar now, let's just see how things look. So for the euro dollar, it's quite simple and straightforward here. So what we need to see is the market needs to pull into regions of about 1.2237. That's just what I think that the market has to pull back into. We got space all the way to the upside as the dollar index continues to melt. We got space all the way to the upside. This is how things look on for. I don't really like the lower time frame as much because it just has like too many things going on down here. But this is exactly where I'm looking to go long on this pair. All right, once I see a nice and decent pullback into, I think this is the Fibonacci level like so. So I think this is where I'll be going long on this guy here. So once I see a decent pullback into this region like so, I'll be a lot more confident to go ahead and long this guy all the way to the upside. That's just what I think about the euro dollar moving on. Or in the event that we actually do see a different kind of pullback here, we'll actually be very versatile and dynamic with this guy. So this is also another zone to watch out for. So I'm just waiting to see how the market reacts off of these levels like so. We got this lower time frame demand levels somewhere around here like so. So let's just see how the market moves, and I'll be yet to let you guys know exactly how you can maneuver your way. All right, but long story short here, we are actually very bullish on this guy because if you check the daily time frame here, we did have a flag pattern, and the market did actually break out of the flag pattern. So this was that nice coil up like so. Like this was the Fibonacci play. This is the low, this is high, higher, low, higher, high. So this was the Fib play like so, from swing low all the way to swing high. Exactly how things look. The market came right into the 0.618 and then reverse dramatically. So now if you put your counter channel like so, this is exactly how it looks. So what I'll be waiting to see is how the market reacts around this level like so. If you can get a decent pullback into 1.11959, that'll be ideal, guys. I slap my eyes on 1.22000, which is my prime target, which I think roughly we got about 700 to one. Okay, so we've got 1000 pips to go from here. So this is exactly what I think is going to happen on the euro dollar in the long term. All right, so that's just that for the euro dollar in a nutshell. Let me just check the pound dollar real quick. I'm just gonna, so for the rest of our US 30 pairs, the indices, Nasdaq, S&P 500, these guys are still on the way. I have no iota of that whatsoever that these pairs are actually gonna hit TP in no time. All right, this is my Nasdaq trade still running at the moment, and once I clear this TP, guys, we have just a few more points to go, and we'll hit TP. So once we clear this TP, we got space all the way to 24,000 basis point like so. And then similar thing on the S&P 500, we do have some very little space to go to hit TP. Once we clear this point, we got space all the way to 6,600 basis points. I have no iota of doubt in me whatsoever that S&P is clear and precise and proper. I have nothing to doubt on this price. These guys are free. All right, they are good to go. All right, and then also BTC, guys, BTC. So BTC, I did see something on BTC which I just thought you need to come on here and then point out to you guys. BTC will be coming down to $95,000 a coin. This is exactly where you really want to go long on BTC. Yeah, so from swing low to swing high, like so. This is exactly how things look. You see how fast it takes me to break down this price. This is exactly how you ought to be fast with the market if you grab the best knowledge in the game. This is why I've put together a program which is to enable you, cut your learning curve by half, and then come and learn what works. Save yourself the stress and just come and learn what actually works, part time persistence in the market. So this is exactly what is happening across the market. So let's talk about the pound dollar real quick. So the pound dollar in a nutshell, this is exactly how things look. We do have a similar kind of scenario. It's similar to that of the euro dollar. So what we need to see is very simple. A decent pullback here into recently created demand level. So this is that trend line that we had, like that I showed you guys one time, like so. So two things here is either we actually pull all the way back down to 1.327 32879, or we actually reverse around here and then continue to the upside. All right, so it is entirely up to the dollar. And in a few moments, I'll be actually be breaking down the dollar index so that you guys can have like a proper overview of this entire thing. Yeah, so that's just that for all these pairs. I have no iota of that whatsoever that these pairs are actually poised to rally to the upside. Ignore the so many lines I got here, guys. Sometimes I just like to clear out my chart and just have like a naked view of the market. But all things being equal, this is exactly how it looks. So I mean, we could even see the market, drop down to at least 1.3, at least 1.33967. Once we see a decent balance out here nicely, like so, guys, it's a free rise on GPU. As you can see, we have my green bar here. This will be the first TP. So this green bar here will be the first TP, and then subsequently we see this guy rally all the way to 1.39267. That's exactly what I think is gonna happen in the market. And if you bring your fib like so from swing low all the way to swing high, I do actually see that this guy could melt all the way down into regions of about somewhere around like so. So that is that for this pair so far. So let me see if there are any other pair that could pay you money. Okay, so let's just quickly break down the dollar index real quick. Let's just see what's happening across the board for this guy. So this is a guy that is causing all the shenanigans and all the roller coaster of events in the market so far. Let's get rid of this guy right here, like so. So on the weekly time frame, this is how things look. I have no iota of doubt like this. We have actually broken below a very delicate level, and the market seems to be poised to continue all the way down to at least 95 basis points, and then subsequently 90 basis points for the dollar index. So but for one thing is for sure, we need to drop from here. We've created that supply level, all well and good. This is a very bearish engulfing weekly candlestick here. This is very, very decent, good for pressure. But we need to see this guy continue to the downside. Once you see this guy continue to the downside, then the pullback to that point will actually be very decent. So I have no iota of that whatsoever. So on the daily time frame, so I have no iota of that whatsoever. So on the daily time frame, this is how I hear you. So on the daily time frame, this is exactly how things look. I mean, we do have something that looks like a head and shoulders pattern here, like so. So the market is just going to pull back into this blue bar. Once this pullback is completed, like if you plot your trend line like so from swing highs here all the way to this point, you can see that this is what the market is simply coming in to do here. So once the market comes to fulfill every other technical criteria here, I'll be to let you guys know exactly how to maneuver your way and make money from this market. That's just what I think is going to happen in the market. Long story short, I'm super bearish on the DXY. Once you come see a nice back into here, we'll reverse all the way back down. My first TP for this dollar bearish play is 95 basis points. Once you clear that point, we go straight to 90k, and that for this. But all right, guys, thank you so much for sticking to the end, guys. Once again, my name is Desmond Samuel, and I'll catch you guys in my subsequent videos. For now, trade safe, be safe, and always apply proper risk management and every single thing you need as per links to my pages. You can find them in the pinned comment, and let me know what you think in the pinned comment, guys. YouTube sends me each and every one of your comments, and I reply to them. I engage you guys, and be sure to check out the free Telegram community. It's also helpful. We have lots of traders, amazing traders out there that send setups, and then also enroll for the mentorship program. It's literally next to nothing. Yeah, so thank you so much, guys, and I'll catch you guys in my next videos. For now, trade safe and peace out.